so far this spring?
I think we've got the best linebacker in the Big 12. I got no problem saying that. I think Jacob Manu proved last year how special of a player he is, and trying to find the next piece of that. I think we've had three guys that have stepped up and done some good things, and three more that are helping us. I think Tay Brown has had an exceptional spring, and I think Conley's had an exceptional spring. Justin Flo made significant progress from some of the assignment mistakes that he made last year, which is a huge value bonus. Levi Sua is doing a really good job over the last week. He's had a couple of great caused turnovers. He's moved around, and schematically is not an issue. It's a matter of getting full speed reps. And then the rest of our room, Tyler Mustang, Brandon Craddock, and Dominic Hanger. Dominic Hanger tore his ACL early on a non-contact injury. Those guys, I expect to see them participating on special teams and helping our football team be better in that aspect. So I think the development over the 14 practices has been great. Championship teams that I've been around don't hit walls during spring practice. And I think this team has done a phenomenal job of, one, being together with all the distractions that are out there with the transfer portal and academics, a late spring ball, and new coaching staff. You got to give this football team credit. They really fought through some of that adversity, and that'll help as we get into game preparation come August.
Regarding Flo, he was a highly rated recruit coming out of high school. How can he get back to being that guy? And what were some of the assignment mistakes that he made?
Limit focus is the term that we've come together, him, myself, and him. Flo is, he's on the, and this is probably going to go against HIPAA, but I don't care about whatever the student action thing is. He's on the verge of getting straight A's this semester. He's outstanding. Excited about that. If we can limit what he has to focus on and down in and down out, he knows exactly what we're doing. We don't too much. He's going to be a really good player and help us. We've got to put him in now. He's going to be a four-core special team guy because of his athletic ability. He's got the potential to cover punts. He's got the potential to block punts and do all those things. He should be one of the first ones down on the kickoff. He hit almost 22 miles an hour today on the GPS tracker. So obviously he can run. He's got that skill set. So it's our job as coaches to put him in position to be successful and use that ability. I recruited the tar out of him out of Upland High School, and I'm glad I finally get the opportunity to work with him.
In terms of his athletic ability, having that versatility, what can that do for your guys' defense, being able to put him here, put him there, and do a lot of different things with Justin?
See, I think we've got to find pieces where we don't confuse him and make him play fast, and that's our entire 11 on defense. If they're confused or they're thinking of what we're doing, they're not going to be as good as they can be. And so, giving him the ability to play fast and do things full speed, that's going to be the opportunity that I have to be here with Coach Aquina. We're having a blast together. I've respected him for my 25 years of doing this and all the things he's put out, and finally getting the opportunity to collaborate together. Our job is to make sure that those 11 guys know exactly what they're doing, they know what to do and how to do it, and they can do it in a reckless manner. And so he's a big piece of that.
How is Flo as a blitzer pass rusher, and how much is blitzing going to be a part of the linebackers this year?
You trying to give me a scouting report for everybody? We're going to give up all the good stuff? Of course
we're
going to blitz. If you know my personality, we're going to blitz. And if Coach Keenan tells me no, then I'm going to fight him on it. And Coach Keenan's not that way. So, yeah, we're going to try and get after people. Flo's skill set athletically, Jacob Manu's skill set athletically, those guys are slippery inside. Now it becomes, how can we make them technicians? How can we take the advantage? The idea of being successful at football is, where can you find 6 inches to give you an advantage? Is it eye placement? Is it footwork? Is it foot pattern? What can we do as coaches? Because coaches don't win games, players win games. It's our job to give them every tool that they can. And right now with Flo, it's when we're blitzing, it's what move are you doing? Don't do it when it happens. You got to be able to react and counter whatever they give you, but you got to have something in mind. And then if they counter your move, you got to have something. And giving them the eye placement and that 6 inches, where can we do that, and what development during the individual periods to give them a chance to be successful?
Do you anticipate adding anyone to your room this offseason?
I don't know if I can mention it. He was on campus a couple of weeks ago. I have a history with him. We're going to add one more from the transfer portal. Depending on what happens over the next couple of days, I don't anticipate anything in our room happening, but things happen every single day that people have no idea is going on in the background. So if we were to lose somebody, then absolutely we'd add a piece. But I think our room's pretty solid. We're going to add one more. We got a couple of freshmen coming in Stacey Bay and Jamari Mann in the fall. I think those young pieces now, you never want to count on a true freshman to play, because for every true freshman you play, you usually lose a football game. And I think we're at a point in this program, and give the previous staff credit because they did a really good job recruiting with what's on our campus. We're not counting on those pieces coming in. If they work out on special teams or they give us reps here and there, it's an added bonus. So I like what we're adding to our room, but I'm gonna speak it loudly. We've got the best linebacker in the Big 12, and I say it without hesitation.
After working with Jacob Manu this spring, what stands out about
His
ability?
football IQ. It's unbelievable. His leadership among our football team. I mean, those guys, and I know Coach Brennan said it numerous times. I mean, the coaches that came in, we had nothing to do with those guys sticking together. The spring practice and the off-season workouts was kind of an audition for the coaches on these guys. I mean, that basketball, the night against UCLA, that's one of the best things I've ever seen in my 25 years of coaching. That was 3 months ago. That could be a thing of the past if the coaches don't do their jobs. I think we've got a pretty good idea of what's going to happen, but there could be surprises you never know in this game now with the transfer portal, and now that you can transfer and be immediately eligible anytime you want. But I think the relationship that I built with Manu, it's got to be about trust. They've got to know that, one, this is almost becoming, in the NFL, as a coach in the NFL, now I've never been there, this is my experience from Marvin Lewis and those guys in Herm. If you provide those guys a service and you can keep them in that league, they're going to listen to everything you say, because they're doing everything they can to survive the 53-man roster so that they can continue with their money. That's what this is turning into, sadly. And so building trust amongst these players, and if they feel you have value, then you've got a chance. I think my reputation speaks for I can give value. Now it's a matter of he has to see, is it real, is it not? And we spent a lot of time in the meeting room. We spent a lot of time in practice. Jacob Manu's got as high IQ as a football player as I've been around, which was a lot of fun. There was a lot of instances, because he played in the scheme last year, coverage-wise, that we're doing, that he was teaching me early on, which is awesome. Because any coach that says they know it all, they're full of it. And so that was a great opportunity, and the relationship to build with Manu has been a lot of fun.
Looking at your special teams unit, how's it been working with Tyler Loop, and where are your punters at right now?
We had a great competition between Tyler, Jordan Forbes, and Cash Peterman for the punting job all spring. I don't know that I have a number one guy coming out yet. We've got Tyler Loop hit a 59-yard field goal today. Prior to the two missions against, I believe it was Washington State, he had tied the record for the highest percentage in field goal percentage in the history of NCAA. To be able to recapture that, he'd have to go about 30 for 30. Now, I coached a young man in New Mexico, John Sullivan, who was a consensus All-American, who went 24 of 27 and hit 26 of 29 and hit 26 in a row at one point, I think. He missed the first two against UTEP and we lost that game. I hope he's listening to this, because I haven't forgot that. But I think my opportunity to help Tyler Loop get what he wants, and that's to make it in the NFL, I think we've got a good rapport, but the credit goes to 100% to Tyler for where he's put in this position. And I think you got to view specialists as erasers. They're on the field to make up for mistakes that somebody made, that we didn't get a first down, we didn't score a touchdown, we're having to punt the ball. Those guys have to come in and fix those mistakes, and I think we've got a pretty good one right now in Tyler Loop, and then we're going to have to figure out who our punter's going to be.
Last question.
Just thoughts on Brent Brennan and the culture that he's put in here at Arizona.
He's probably going to get mad at me for saying this, but I think Brent Brennan is magical. To do what he did at San Jose State, which hadn't been done, and Coach Tomey did a great job. I was on the staff at New Mexico when we played them in the 2006 New Mexico Bowl, and I think they beat us 20-12. And then Coach Brennan to go back there in 17 and build a championship culture that survived the transfer portal and NIL at a school that doesn't have the resources that we have here. I don't think anybody appreciates how hard that was and what an unbelievable job he did. I think he's the perfect person for this job. I'm honored that he gave me a phone call to come and be a part of this staff. I think we've got a fantastic staff that can compete for championships at a high level. It's going to come down to recruiting. If we can recruit at a high level and get players on campus that can compete to win the Big 12 championship, Coach Brennan's going to be like Coach Tomey around here. He's going to be here for a long time. And we're going to win a lot of football games and have a chance to compete for a championship every year. That's all you can ask for. And he was brought up by the right people in this business. I worked for Coach Long, Rocky Long, for 20-some years, and then I was head coach, and he was my defensive coordinator for a few years. He's in that same path. I mean, with Rich Ellerson and Dick Tomey. I mean, those guys are close, and we have similar beliefs and philosophies, and that's why it's been a great match for the first 2 months that I've been here. And I've known Coach Brandon for a long time, and have always, if I had the opportunity to work for him, with him, however, I was going to do it in a heartbeat. And when that phone rang, I usually give my wife all the credit and tell her that I'm going to ask. I said yes, and she was in the car. Okay, I was at Home Depot when he called, doing some honeydews and stuff, and now I love Home Depot, so, and Lowe's and all those places. But I took that job and told her that she was excited as to be in Tucson, Arizona. And the irony of the places I've been, we're going to have a whole bunch of fun, because I believe no matter what it is, wherever you're at, you've got to be all in. And I know a whole bunch about this school already, because I know people know I knew about the school up north. The advantage right now is 50-45-1 Arizona, and I don't even, that includes whatever happened a couple years ago, and I wasn't a part of that. But what I can say is I'm excited to be on this side of it. I'm undefeated in the Territorial Cup, and we'll see what happens in November.